Did you just see those newspapers?
Yeah, the ones that's got the same pictures in every single paper.
Did you just see those newspapers?
Yeah.
Every single newspaper got the same picture on. You know, no matter what newspaper you bought today,
Yeah.
you would actually be just reading exactly the same news.
You'd be seeing the next selected Prime Minister.
Oh yeah. Somebody has gone against Cameron, but Cameron's going to leave after he's lined all his mates' pockets as usual. And then his best mate from Eton, from the Bullingdon Club, good old Boris. Did you ever see the film, the documentary, when Boris met Dave?
Yeah.
Did anybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Boris used to march with a baseball bat through the dorms. And our Prime Minister, fantastic bloke. I've seen your comments in the bottom. Oh dear, vicious words. But I'd like to call him, well, you know he's not really. I am taking the Michael. I'm taking the...
Extracting the urine.
Extracting the, yeah, something like that. When I call this man honourable, wonderful, oh, he's just a good all-round egg. A man that looks after his own, our interests. And if you heard the first one, that's probably more correct. But yeah, when they were at the Bullingdon Club at Eton College...
What did they do? What did they do?
Boris would march through the dorms with his pals, all dressed up in these top hat and tails and stuff. That was their uniform.
With his baseball bat?
His baseball bat. And he would go into the dorms, and poor old Dave was sat there, quivering on his bed, shaking. And he used to have a record player and, you know, hi-fi separates. And Boris got this bat, and he smashed his records to bits, and smashed his record player, smashed all his amplifier, and kicked his speakers in and stuff. And David, our fantastic, wonderful Prime Minister, who's really doing so much for the British society. I've never said so much bull in one sentence. He was there crying. So Boris digs his hands into his pockets, all his wedges, pictures of the Queen, and goes, just get some more, old boy. So this is just money pays for everything, because when we're going to be in government, we just magic it out of the thin air from the Bank of England. You know the Bank of England, we talked about this before. They only lend to one institution, and that institution is...
the government.
Yes. And then you, as slaves, have to pay a slavery tax in the form of extortion called income tax, or any tax at all. This is why I disagree with paying any tax whatsoever. Yeah. Because it's only used to go and kill
innocent men, women and children
in other countries
that
for
got a different coloured skin.
Well, there is no race, you know. We're actually, before birth, before you decide to incarnate, you select. I decided to go through the races. We've spoken about this before. We're going to have a little chat in the near future about what is actually going on this planet. A very sort of frank discussion, which goes over all those metaphysical books and my mind blowing up a few years ago. And we've got a couple of friends who are Islamic, so don't panic, will you? That we're going to have a chat to as well. That should be very interesting, because we gave somebody a lift last week, didn't we?
We'll have to get them to say, "Don't panic, I'm Islamic."
Well, don't panic, but they are Islamic.
Yeah.
But they're lovely guys.
And they know what's going on.
Well, when we picked him up the other day, and he says, "Do you know what, this IS?" His name's Jay. He's not the other Jay that's got the brand new silver Mercedes through his massive, humongous payout for after being locked up for weeks. Not that Jay. He's another Jay. Months. He's a different Jay. And he says, "You know what, fellas? What?" And he says, "IS has been funded by the US government and the British government." And we're like,
yeah.
Really? Do you want to say that on camera? I've never heard Islamic people talk like this before. But anyway, getting back to the point. So there you have it, all over the news today.
Yeah.
And you know, I told you how easy it is to find anybody's address. Well, all the cameras on the news this morning apparently were set outside number 20 in some South London area at Boris's house, and he comes out with his crazy mop of blonde hair.
Almost like it was staged.
Hello. Yes, it's staged.
Almost.
Of course it was. Staged. Of course it was. If anybody's got the volume turned up on their computers and they're a surround sound system where he plays that surround sound system, put the bass on as well. It sounds really good. But yeah, you can hear my voice going through your neighbours. Even if I play this video later on, my neighbours are sort of like look at me the next day. You listen to your own voice. No, I'm just editing my own voice. That's quite funny. Anyway, yeah, so in plain sight, there you go. There's, as my good friend here told you, there is Britain's next new Prime Minister.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the I forget who it was, they put out that thing over in America where they showed you the different channels and they were all saying exactly, to the letter, same words. Same thing with the papers. So if you think, why would you need all these different papers when they all tell you exactly the same bull anyway?
No. Well, within a month, one of them's to go, you know, the Independent, which is not independent. That's to go with it after 4 weeks. They stopped producing it.
FIY or something going as well?
For your information.
You know that magazine. Holly Willoughby's on it.
Oh, that's FHM, yeah, for him magazine. Never really liked that. It's just full of adverts, really.
Well, same as the papers.
Yeah, but yeah, it's very, very, very odd to. I wonder if anybody else has noticed that. There's just Boris Johnson on every newspaper and every news channel today.
Yeah, radio, TV, on the lot. It's all about your next Prime Minister that you lot will be voting for. Except, of course, it doesn't make any difference.
And him and Cameron and the Bullingdon Club. That's who's running the country. Now, if you look over the Atlantic Ocean to what's happening in the good old US of A at the moment, you've got, well, it's not rocket science who's going to be the next president of the United States of America Private Limited Corporation.
No, she's not.
Go to Betfred and put a bet on, yeah? Or there are other booking shops. Or there are other turf accountants. And, oh yes, she is. Yeah, plain sight. Well, if you have a look at Hillary Clinton, she's the sort of psychotic person that when they killed poor old Gaddafi, because he was going to have the gold dinar, she said, we came, we saw him, he died. Have we got him? Oh, he's dead. Oh, yeah, celebration, he's dead. So that's a sort of psychotic person like that would be well up for the job of helping all the banksters and the corporations out.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Just doing the jobs.
George Bush, his brother resigned. He'd given up the campaign.
He wants locking up along with the rest of them.
Bernie Sanders as well. First of all Hillary won, and then he won, and then there was something about a toss of 6 coins.
Just shows you that money does buy politicians.
It isn't the American people that vote the president out in. It is actually money that votes the president in.
They've got this referendum coming up. You know, let's get out of the EU referendum.
Oh, Cameron wants to cut everybody's benefits. He doesn't want any more migrants coming here. He wants to cut their benefits. He doesn't want to give any money to their children. And basically, him and his mates have made trillions upon trillions selling weapons of mass destruction and then chucking it all on their countries. Yeah. And of course, if you've got no house and no food and no money, what are you going to do? You're going to come to Europe, or you can come to England, because apparently it's nice here. And but yeah, he doesn't want you to do that now. But he's all a bit of a con.
Well, about that referendum, right?
Cameron will go later on this year, and then good old the buffoon Boris DeFuffle Johnson will be the next PM. That should be quite amusing, actually. But unfortunately, he's quite a rotter who would line all his mates. Yeah, selling weapons around the planet.
Well, that's like I say about that referendum. People are actually saying, maybe I'll go and register to vote again so I can have a vote on that referendum. Look, they fixed the last general election. You don't honestly believe they're going to allow you to vote as out of Europe, do you? Come on, use your heads.
As you say, my friend, it's a selection, not an election. And why do they just gather all this data? They could keep a collection of data on you all the time. Register. Regis King. Is that it? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that must be pretty much it.
It's a beautiful day in here today.
Yep. Nice and sunny.
Debt Free TV, in association with GetOutOfDebtFree.org.